Hey guys, are you up for an embarrassing story? I did something this morning I'm not very proud of. It's not my finest moment, but man, when I looked at it afterwards and shook my head, I realized there was actually something underneath, and of course that's always worth talking about. It was basically a power struggle. I've been writing about power struggles lately, just thinking them over, looking at all the different ways to get around them, feeling pretty impressed with myself. And then life happened. I had a great idea. I said, in the morning we end up giving the kids a lot of reminders about when to get dressed. Why don't we just get dressed when it's time to finish breakfast? We can go right from breakfast to getting dressed, easy peasy, right? So one of my kids has done his breakfast, and I say, sweetie, I think it would make a lot of sense if you would just, get your clothes on right after breakfast. So let's start doing that today, okay? All right, let's go get your clothes on. And he lay on the couch and looked at me and said, I'm a baby, I'm a baby. And I'm thinking, oh, no sweat, I got this. No, sweetie, I'm gonna help you. If you need help, if you don't want to be the boss of yourself, that's okay. I can be the boss of you, but we are gonna go upstairs and get your pajamas on. And I started to really dig my heels in. I started to get really invested in this little argument. And, of course, kids are smart. And they know when they have leverage. In this case, it was 50 pounds of leverage. So he just lay on the couch and said, I'm a baby, I'm a baby. And, I'm trying to keep cool. I'm trying to keep calm. Like, well, if you don't do this, then you're not gonna have any clothes to go to day camp in. And I started actually feeling offended by it. I thought, okay, maybe I should carry him up the stairs. That's a terrible idea. I have a bad knee. Maybe I should just wait here. Well, this is getting very boring. I'm getting very tired of waiting. Maybe there's something I could say that would just make him do it, because I really need to make him do it. And friends, that's really what a power struggle is all about when your only goal is compliance. You just end up facing off, and it becomes like a win, maybe win-win, possibly win-lose situation. And then I realized I was starting to take it very personally. The things I was saying to myself were, if you cared about me, you would get up and get your pajamas on. I actually started to connect in my mind my child's affection for me and this moment of obedience. This disobedience was, to me, sending this message like, I don't care about you. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized, yeah, there are like scary, scary feelings that we have when these power struggles come up. And I think the three big ones, I'm just gonna be really honest. The first one that comes up for me is, you don't care about me. And sometimes the kids actually say that. They say, I don't care about you. Or they say much worse things. And you believe it in that moment. You're like, I've raised a child who doesn't care about me. I'm not worthy of love. Or my child is broken somehow, and it's just horrible. And I can't really convey like the scariness of that feeling, the insecurity in that moment. The second thing that we are terrified of as parents is, I'm awful. I didn't do this right. I have failed to teach you obedience. I have failed to set up this situation. I have no control. I have no leverage. I'm awful. So that's part of the reason why we start to like dig in and get really invested in these little moments of disagreement. And the third reason, and we kind of sell this to ourselves, I think, is, well, I have to teach you this, or you're going to grow up to be a person who's not obedient. You're going to grow up to be maybe, like, we don't say this, but we're afraid, like, you're going to grow up to be a bad person. You're not, either you're going to get in trouble at school, you're going to be a criminal, like, these are not necessarily rational thoughts, but these are definitely all thoughts that I've had and that I've heard other parents having. So on the one hand, it's a disagreement about pajamas. On the other hand, it's your relationship with me, my worth as a parent, and your future, your entire future rests on going upstairs and getting pajamas on. So I'm out of options. I cannot lift this kid up. I don't even know why he's disagreeing with me, because it's not a hard thing to do, but I'm not thinking about what he wants. I'm thinking about what I want. I just want to feel like a good parent in this moment. And I like flounce upstairs. And I say ridiculous things and indignant things. Like, I'm not going to play with you this morning because you're making things difficult for me. And I'm just, I don't even know. I'm just feeling like super insecure and frustrated and mad. And it's just pajamas. So, of course, once I was out of sight and this little interaction was over, he did get his pajamas on, and then we did play together, and it wasn't a big deal. And so I'm just giving myself this reminder, and I think I will share this reminder with you, because these power struggles, they can get very scary and they can get very ugly. Like, those are usually the moments that we do things that we're most embarrassed about, and that when we push our kids, they do the things that they are most regretful of. So let's go over 3 things that we could just keep in our pockets and remember. One of them is our kids probably actually love us a lot. Probably ferociously, probably more than they can say. They probably do really, really love us. Next, we're probably okay as parents and human beings. Even though we might give ourselves a really hard time and we might not get great reviews from our parents and even family members all the time, we're probably doing okay. We're probably doing the best we can with what we know. And as Maya Angelou says, when we know better, we do better. And the third thing is, our kids are probably going to grow up and be okay. Probably what we choose in that moment, the outcome in this moment, is probably not going to decide the course of their life. And those things are hard to remember in the moment, but if it helps, I will help you remember those things. Because once you are okay with those 3 things, you are loved, you are okay, your kid's going to be okay, then it's just pajamas. And we can just deal with pajamas. So if you are not feeling okay, if you are still scared that your kid is not okay, if you are still actually not sure that your relationship with your child is okay, that's okay too, because a lot of us have been there. So that's why I'm here. That's the whole reason why I'm showing up here, is because if you are in that situation, I really want to help. If you're feeling stuck in those power struggles, if you're feeling stuck in those feelings, let's talk it over. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out what's going on with your child and why they're saying no. I think in my kid's case, I think he was saying I'm a baby because he actually wanted me to argue with him or play with him. I think he was hoping I would treat him like a baby and we'd play a game, and I completely missed that. Because the defiant behavior, it's not usually about not wanting to be a good person or to care about us or any of that. It's usually just missed communication. Our kids are trying to say something and we are not hearing it, and they're saying it in like the worst possible, most mysterious way, and it's not even fair. But if we remember that we're on the same team, we will figure it out eventually. Maybe not in that moment, but we will figure it out. Okay, thanks for listening.